Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into a huge update in a mountaineering mystery that's, well, captivated people for 100 years.
That's right. The disappearance of Sandy Irvine and George Mallory on Mount Everest back in 1924.
Exactly. Our mission here is to sort of unpack what this latest discovery means and how it shifts our understanding of that final, fateful climb.
It's a story that's always had this huge question mark.
Yeah.
Mallory, the climbing legend, Irvine, the young engineering student, crucial for the oxygen gear they were using.
Which was experimental stuff back then.
Highly experimental, and they were going for the summit, trying to be the first. Did they make it? Decades before the official ascent by Hillary and Irvine, that's always been the core question.
Yeah, the ultimate what if. They were last spotted by Noel Odell, heading upwards, looking strong. Then clouds rolled in and they were just gone.
Dashed.
So jump to September 2024. A National Geographic team led by the climber and filmmaker Jimmy Chin, they're on the Rongbuk Central Glacier. That's on the north side of Everest.
And they find something pretty extraordinary.
Unexpectedly, right? They weren't specifically looking for Irvine in that spot.
No, which makes it even more fascinating. It really shows how these modern, well-funded expeditions, even when focused on other goals, can stumble across history. The mountains still hold secrets.
And what they found? A boot with partial human remains inside.
Yes. And the key detail, the thing that makes this so compelling, inside that boot, there was a sock.
Okay.
And sewn into that sock, the full name. Andrew Cullman Sandy Irvine.
Wow. His full name.
His full name. That makes the identification, well, pretty much near certain. It's arguably the biggest find related to this mystery since Mallory's own body was discovered back in 1999.
Okay, let's piece this together. We had clues before. Irvine's ice axe, found way back in 1933, really high up, over 8,400 meters.
Proving they got incredibly high, no doubt about that.
Then in 99, Conrad Anker's expedition found Mallory's body, lower down around 8,155 meters.
Right, Mallory's location gave us some data points, suggested maybe a fall. But this new discovery, Irvine's potential remains, they're significantly lower down, on the glacier itself.
Lower than Mallory and actually on the glacier, not high on the slope.
Exactly, on the Rongbuk Central Glacier. And that location difference is really significant.
So this sparks new thinking. Conrad Anker, who found Mallory and knows Everest like few others, he has a theory about this.
He does. His hypothesis, and it makes a lot of sense geologically, is that Irvine might have fallen from much higher up, perhaps near where Mallory fell, or even higher.
Okay.
But his body landed in a place where it was eventually incorporated into the glacier and transported downwards over, a century. Glaciers move.
So the ice carried him down over time. That would explain why he's so far from Mallory's location.
Precisely. It suggests they weren't together right at the end. Maybe separate accidents. Caught in a storm and separated. A desperate solo descent attempt. It hints at a more complex, perhaps chaotic end.
And finding him on the glacier kind of debunks those older sort of fringe theories about his body being deliberately moved or hidden, doesn't it?
It makes those seem highly unlikely, yes. The glacial deposition seems like a tragically natural explanation.
Right. Now, the big question that always comes up, the camera. The Kodak vest pocket camera Mallory was known to carry.
Ah, yes, the Holy Grail.
Could it have been with Irvine? Or maybe Irvine even had his own camera?
It's possible. If either camera could be found, and miraculously, the film inside survived.
That could be the proof. Photos from the summit.
It could potentially answer the question definitively. But, and it's a big but, experts are pretty skeptical about a 100-year-old film surviving decades of freeze-thaw cycles and extreme conditions. It's a long shot.
A huge long shot.
Yeah.
But still, hope remains. What about other things? Notes, diary pages, bits of that oxygen gear.
Absolutely. Any artifact found could offer clues. Even fragments of clothing or equipment could tell us something about their condition, their location. And this discovery potentially changes where you'd even look for the camera or other items.
Because if Irvine traveled down the glacier...
The camera could be near Mallory's site, near Irvine's recovery site,
Yeah.
or somewhere along that potential path of glacial transport. It widens the search area, in a way.
Which maybe explains why Jimmy Chin and the Nat Geo team decided not to reveal the exact coordinates of their find, to protect the site.
That's a really important ethical point. And it leads straight into the bigger debate.
Yeah.
What happens now?
Should the remains be recovered for, scientific study, DNA confirmation, analysis of the gear, maybe even repatriation if descendants exist?
Or should they be left in situ, left in place on the mountain out of respect? Jamie Owen from the Royal Geographical Society, for instance, has argued they should remain on Everest. It's a powerful argument.
It's a tough call. There's the scientific drive for answers, closure perhaps, versus the sanctity of the mountain as a resting place.
And, with climate change causing glaciers to retreat worldwide, we might unfortunately see more historical finds like this. So this case could set a precedent for how we handle these discoveries in the future.
It adds another layer to it all.
It really does. The potential for uncovering more history as the ice melts. It makes these ethical questions even more critical.
So wrapping this up, the possible discovery of Sandy Irvine is a massive development. It doesn't answer the summit question yet. The camera is still key for that. But it adds incredible depth and, frankly, a renewed human connection to their story.
It absolutely deepens the intrigue. And it prompts a final thought, maybe for you listening. Everest has given back a piece of its past. It forces us to think about not just the limits of human ambition and exploration, but also about our complex relationship with history, with discovery, and the ethics involved, especially in these fragile, changing environments. What does this intense focus on a century-old mystery really tell us about our enduring fascination with pushing boundaries and the power of the stories we tell about those who dare?